Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Romeo Blue action figure from NECA's Pacific Rim line. So just taking a first look at Romeo Blue, he's a good looking figure. It's a good sculpt. There's a lot of good things about it as far as the paint goes. But I gotta just dive right in on the articulation because my particular figure that I have has a lot of articulation problems. There are some good things though, so I'll kind of shed a light on both as far as this goes. Like the range of motion on his head here is pretty good. He can even tip it down and tilt it left and right, side to side. That's great. The shoulders, these ball hinge shoulders, have good range of motion forward and back and outward. If there is a bicep hinge on the side, which it looks like there is, I can't tell because it's really tight. Speaking of really tight, there's a double elbow joint. And the bottom part of it moves alright, but this one's super tight. You can even see that little section there doesn't even move. Same thing on this side. I get a little bit of motion and it's tight at the bottom part of the elbow, but the top doesn't move at all. And it's just that little pin sticking out there, so I really feel like I'm just going to snap it off if I try it too hard. His hand, though, at the wrist has a swivel, and then the hand itself can pivot. What the hand can also do besides that pivot and swivel is can slide out, which is really cool looking. Don't get me wrong. I think that looks awesome, the fact that it can do that. My problem is the other side can't. It's so tight, and I've tried and tried and tried. I feel like I'm going to break it if I pull it. So that's annoying, just how much tightness there is. Now, he's got this swivel right here at the waist, and if you look here, it's a giant ball joint. You can see it right in there. It's massive. Problem is, at the top, the torso moves around the top of the ball joint, but the actual ball joint itself doesn't really give me much motion. At least I get the swivel and the top section moves. Waist, I got the basic ball hinge. Again, if there's a swivel here, which it looks like there is, and I see a little bit of a movement, but it's pretty tight. Also, the knee joint. At least I get that one to move, but this one's pretty tight as far as the back. Like my double knee joint isn't really a double, it's just a single, because the bottom section is a little tight on the right. And then lastly we've got this little swivelly doodad at the bottom, and those are fine. I just wish so much of this wasn't so stiff. That's what she said, or didn't say. Why would you not want that? Anyway, the actual sculpting, if you look at all the details in the back here, the sculpting on this figure is freaking rad. I mean, it's a really great design, and I think they did a great job with just the overall shape of it. Jeez. The legs look cool, the feet look cool. These little vents and details on the side of his thighs look awesome. His chest is cool, and I really like all the little paint details. As far as the logos, there's a little tiny, logo right there in the arm. That's tiny. I think they did a great job with that. But look at just the sculpting of his chest. His arms are cool. The little section that slides out looks cool. It's, kind of got a dark paint job with a silvery wash, but I mean all the red circular lines, the silver paint. The paint on this is really good. Like really, really strong. Not just the red lines everywhere, not just like the numbering, but there's like a dirty wash to it that they've been doing with a lot of stuff. There's more logos. And that dirty wash reads really good, but the yellow lines, the dirt, the only thing is, the little yellow section here on some figures that I saw can get a little wonky. But I picked a good one as far as the cockpit goes, because I saw some where the red paint of the cockpit windows were all wonky, but mine's pretty clean. But man, I really dig this. All the details, even the gack underneath like the shoulder joint there. The gack on this figure, the vents, the tubing on the back. This is all really, really good work. Despite my complaints about the articulation, I do like this figure. I think it's a great design. In fact, it's a pretty underused design in my opinion because it's so cool looking. It's only featured in that opening montage. But it does get some decent screen time in that quick montage of stuff. And I think it's such a unique design with that fin in the front, and I just like the use of blue on it. And I think NECA did a good job with this figure, especially with like all the little paint details. I like all the little yellow and red lines. It's all really clean work. I'm pretty happy with this. I like the extendo arm. It's pretty cool. Thanks for watching.